I'm Dozier.
Okay, well, I'm Pastor William Dunlap.
And I'm Lily Dunlap.
Nancy Nicewinder.
Mike Ramirez.
I'm Kristen Crago.
I'm Caroline Crago.
I think it was God's plan. When I first heard about it, there was an analogy not wanting me to look further into it. So as I looked further into it, I think he really wanted me to go, so everything worked out.
My favorite part of the trip was probably when the Marquez family would feed us lunch, and we got to sit around with the Summit team and with the family and just bond.
For me, my favorite part of the trip was actually getting to watch my daughter Lily get to be on that trip. I know for me, when I was a teenager, doing various mission trips were so formative in my faith. I really felt called to ministry on a mission trip and just really changed the trajectory of my life. And so as a dad, it was such a huge blessing to get to see my daughter going through that and having that experience and hearing from God in those ways. And so it just made me really proud.
I just really enjoy getting to know the other members of the team, the ones that live in Mexico, El Paso, and up here.
Probably one of my favorite moments was after I got to know the kids a little bit and we started to kind of understand each other a little bit. There were a lot of just sweet and precious moments with them, just as we were playing, and I just got to know them really well, and that was really good.
Well, I usually not one for being in crowds. I talk very seldom. If I am in a crowd, I do fine with one-on-one, but I noticed on this trip with the fellowship and everything, I felt just comfortable as could be with it all.
Yeah, there were a lot of great things on the trip that you get to experience. One of my favorite moments was watching the young ladies who were on our team interact with the children. They overcame a language barrier, a little tentativeness from the children, but through God, they were able to communicate through play. And you just saw the joy and smile on their faces, all of their faces, as they played really hard all day long. And it was a way of communicating God's love through those smiles and joy and play. It was really exciting to see that. And you could tell that it was affecting the children.
One thing that probably made an impact on my trip was we tend to think that we need this and we need that, but the Marquez family really showed that all we need is Jesus, and they were joyful even maybe if they didn't have the best house or the best clothes, but we can be joyful too because if we have Jesus, that's all we need.
We had to work really hard to understand each other. The kids, they would be saying something to us and we wouldn't really understand what they were saying, but we would work really hard until we got kind of the gist of it, and just how here in America you kind of just kind of assume that you kind of understand people because they speak the same language as you, but that wasn't the case there, and it just made me realize we shouldn't assume that here either. We should work harder to understand people better.
It helped me to see as Christ sees, to not focus on necessarily the environment, but to focus on the people ahead of us.
One of the things for me, it's been about 20 years since I was in a third world country. We've been a few times, but it's been quite a while. And you can know all about it. You can know the statistics. You can see pictures and even video. We sponsor a compassion child. I've preached sermons about how if you make minimum wage in the U.S., you're wealthier than, I think it's 92% of the rest of the world. But man, when you actually are there in a third world country, when you are just surrounded by extreme poverty and you can smell it and taste it and hear it all around you. It just totally reorients you to where you are in the world, and it's a strong reminder for me of how blessed we are, but in the regard of God has blessed us to be a blessing, and He's given us a lot, and we need to be responsible and realize that we have so much to share and so many ways that we can help others.
I think there is a part of God that we can see in the lowly and in the poor, and I feel like when you are down there, that is something that you bring home with you for sure.
One of the greatest things we could do is express God's love for people as much as we can. And a mission trip like this, that's really what it's all about. The house is a beautiful thing to be able to provide for the family, but it's really opening a door for God's love to enter that family and for us to be His spokesperson for that love to them. And it's also helped me realize that that service doesn't end at the end of a mission, or however you're serving away or at home. I mean, you really need to bring that home and continue that service within your family and your church and your community.
The number one reason I would encourage people to do this is, Scripture says that when we serve the hungry, the thirsty, the people needing shelter, and that we're really serving Him. And so this is a chance to connect deeper with Jesus in a way that we really can't even do here in Buffalo, and to people who are in such desperate need. And so this will be, yes, we get to help them and serve them, but you come away changed and blessed more than even I think that we help others. So.
Mission trips are just a way for you to step out, follow God, listen to Him, and to do His work in the world.
I think that one reason that it was so awesome and that anybody should go too is that we had such a good bonding experience with the Summit team, but not only with the Summit team, but also with the Marquez family, and we just got to know their lifestyle and know God deeper also. The drive was a little long. It was awesome because we got to stop at Chick-fil-A, but it was kind of a tiring ride. But we made it down safe, which was such a blessing.
I loved it because that's where the relationship really started. That's where it really happened, is in the conversations and is in the car, in the vans.
The ministry that's going on in Mexico and other various places through Casas is more than just building a house for a family. The house is kind of a means to an end for God. It's opening a door for that family to experience Him, to hopefully seek Him more throughout their life. But it's almost more so the mission is working on the team members themselves, both collectively and individually, helping you recognize maybe the things that you need to work on as well, the things that you need to seek God, and ultimately, be His conduit for that love in His kingdom, to build His kingdom. And I believe that the Casas mission does that. It builds a house for the family, but it also builds the house inside of you for God to express His love to everyone.
We had a good time, and I didn't lose any weight.
We were given the statistics that for every house you build, approximately 2 people come to know the Lord, and that ripple effect is huge. Just when we were building the house, people were stopping and asking us how they could get a house, and that's maybe 2 more people that come to know Jesus. It's amazing.